Welcome, ApexGeniuses. Today, I'll be showing you how to use the ApexGenius MCP, the thing that lets you point Claude to any of your Salesforce orgs, and you can just talk to it, analyze flows, query live data, build reports, all in plain English. Let me show you what it is and why it's a big deal, and then we'll actually do it live. So I made two diagrams of just explaining the benefits of ApexGenius MCP as opposed to just using Claude or Cursor or Codex to connect to your Salesforce orgs. So on the left-hand side, you have Claude, Cursor, and Codex. When you want to connect it to a Salesforce org, you have to connect it to each Salesforce org, so you have to have different authentications for each, and you have to manually do all that work and do all the upkeep. And even then, you can only primarily query data. You can't really mess with the metadata as much, right? Like you have to go through a like additional configuration, which may like require some developer knowledge. Admins can too, but it just requires a little bit more digging to actually get yourself to like manipulate metadata and deploy to your org with the Claude Cursor Codex. But that's where ApexGenius MCP comes in. So ApexGenius MCP, it's a tool where you can connect your Claude, your Cursor, or your Codex to ApexGenius MCP. ApexGenius MCP is connected to all of your orgs. So let's say you signed in to ApexGenius with your development org, your UAT org, and production. No longer do you have to manage those connections separately. Once it's connected to ApexGenius, you can talk to all of your orgs. So things you can do is org discovery. You can pull down Apex classes and find out what they do, flows or LBCs, and just see how your org is working. You can theory craft new builds, design and pressure test solutions. You can also create and deploy builds too, custom fields, reports, dashboards, Apex, LWCs, query data, and make dashboards. So, enough talk. Let me give you guys a demonstration of exactly how to use ApexGenius MCP and the power of it. So let's go to ApexGenius. So in ApexGenius, I have two orgs right now. An org is a company, and then I have some projects under it. So I have one Salesforce org connected on this project. I go over to here. I have two Salesforce orgs connected to these projects. So I'll go to settings. And also you can look at my previous videos to see exactly like how to set up and integrate ApexGenius with your Salesforce. It's pretty easy, just one click. But go to settings, go to advanced. And in advanced, you should see something called API key. And this is what will give you access to ApexGenius. And this is how we're gonna connect it to Claude. So we can just say generate key. So once you generate the key, you just copy the MCP client config. I'm going to hit copy. Then we're going to go over to our Claude desktop app. So now that we have Claude open, we want to go to the bottom left of our profile, click that, hit settings. And then in settings, we're going to go all the way to the bottom under desktop app. We're going to hit developer, and then we're going to do edit config. So when we hit edit config, you should see this file get brought up, Claude desktop config.json. I'm going to open mine with VS Code, but you can open it with whatever text app you're comfortable with. So I have my VS Code right here. And then I'm going to paste in the ApexGenius MCP configuration. So I'm going to paste. So I already have MCP servers configured. So if you have no MCP servers configured, you would need this whole JSON. But I already have it configured, so I can remove MCP servers, this JSON, remove that, and then I'm gonna hit a comma. Do I have to remove one more? I have to remove one more. So I'm gonna remove this, remove that. Let's make this a little neater. Then hit a comma since I have multiple servers. Then I'm gonna save. So you add the ApexGenius MCP server configuration to your file, and then we can go back to Claude. We have to restart our Claude. Let me do that real quick. Let's just end it. Open it again. So we restarted our Claude, and now we click the Add Files and Connectors. Go to Connectors, and then we should see ApexGenius is now connected. Great. So what does that mean? So ApexGenius is connected. We now have access to all of the orgs under our account. So all of the Salesforce orgs. So we can say, what orgs are we connected to in ApexGenius? So it should use the ApexGenius tool to get me my orgs. Great. So yeah, it says the three orgs I'm connected to. We can say, all right, what account slash ops are in the AGI org? So it can query SQL. And the good thing about this is when you use the ApexGenius MCP, none of the data gets stored on ApexGenius' servers. All it is just API access for you to use whatever agent you like, Codex, Cursor, Claude, Gemini even, using like their apps, their desktop apps, so you can just talk to Salesforce instead of opening up a VS Code and spinning up Claude Code or any of those CLI tools. So it showed us we had 32 accounts, 36 opportunities. And let's say, how about flows? How many flows do we have, and what do they do? Hey, we have this many flows. A lot of them are demo. Yeah, this is doing pretty good. And yeah, these are flows built by me. Just testing stuff out. And then I want to say, let's create a report. Can we create a report of all accounts with closed ops in the last year? Closed, yeah, let's say closed ops in the last year. So it's first, of course, gonna like fetch the data just to make sure. It says only two, and it's going to now go and create the report. So it's give me two options. Just the two test ops and with no account or close ops with an account. Yes, let's do with an account. Let's do this. And let's do a Salesforce report org. Salesforce report in the org. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It pretty much just reasons out, okay, exactly how do I make a report? Um, ApexGenius MCP provides a file system for the agents. Because if you're a developer and you've used VS Code, it's kind of the same idea, but on the cloud. As you know, VS Code is local. It requires a little bit of developer attention to set up, but we try to abstract all that away. So it's creating the report. Great. It staged it. Now it's deploying it to the org. We can also check the status. Found an error. Yeah, invalid. So it's going to now update it again. And it's deploying it again, checking the status. And now the last issue is the chart. So with some metadata, it definitely takes a little bit of time. Like with the report, reports are a little tricky to make, so it just takes a couple iterations, but the agent eventually figures it out, but it has a much easier time with Apex or custom fields, custom objects, because those are pretty straightforward metadata configurations. So great. It has deployed. Let me say, can you give me the link for it so I can see it, please? Cool. So it gave me the link. I'm gonna copy this. Let's open up my Brave. Let's go here. And let's see the report. And wow, look at that. So we had the 5 accounts with 15 opportunities, all in stage closed one. So yeah, this is pretty powerful because you can use it across multiple orgs. Like imagine it, okay? I made this report in my sandbox. Now I want to make this report in production. I don't have to like go and like push it up the pipeline, even though you should. But you can now directly create this report in production. Um, and it's now pretty easy because you don't need to know exactly how to make reports, do cross filters, formula summaries. And as I said, this extends to all metadata types, Apex classes, writing integrations, flows, data analysis, org discovery. The possibilities are now endless. So hope you guys have fun using ApexGenius's MCP, and let me know what other feature you guys would like to see from ApexGenius. Thanks.